Hi there guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VII, where we're in the middle of Sephiroth the Hedgehog having a mental breakdown, a bit of an existential crisis on who he is and what it means for Shinra, this company that of course was like sort of made him and stuff. So yeah, we're getting into a part of the game that is again an iconic scene, and it's amazing how the beginning of this game just goes from one iconic scene to the next. Also, thank you for this game having a save the game and rest option in the middle of a long thing like this. I mean, I understand RPGs having limited saving capabilities depending on where you are. That is part of the challenge, you know? And back in the day, you definitely wanted RPGs to have challenge to sort of keep you hooked for long periods of time. But definitely that's a case where it's really nice, and I hope they keep that in the full one. Not the full one, but the remake. Whenever I say the full one or something of the similar, you know what I mean. So he's playing demos and stuff, so, you know, I'm used to saying that. But apparently, Sephiroth has boarded himself up in the Shinra mansion, which is just like a big mansion here that Shinra owns and stuff. And I'm sure, big scary mansion in small happy town. Nothing weird or wrong ever goes in there. What are you talking about? This place actually holds the key to a rather important side quest later. And as you can see, like, I think we're locked in here now, because I am not touching the controller. Now I am. So this place, when I first saw this, I was really expecting this to be a big, like, when you hear a mansion in an RPG, you expect it to be a dungeon, you know? I got flashbacks to playing Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which is the first Final Fantasy game I owned, and that had a mansion level where you had to, like, it was a huge mansion dungeon. Or, you know, Twilight Princess with the Blizzard dungeon, where it was just a house. All things considered, this place is actually pretty small and not that bad to deal with. You know, it's kind of set up like how an actual house would be. Also, this safe is dumb, and we will get to it later. You will see why. But no, it's like you can explore here, and thankfully there's no enemies. Yet. Oh. So, apparently Sephiroth went into this room, but I wonder if this clearly marked door that very clear, like, it wasn't even that hidden. I think I found that totally accidentally, because, you know, well, my first attempt, because I was just like, you know, I'm playing it, and I'm just brushing up against all the walls, mashing buttons, kind of how I play every RPG. The only RPG that's really detrimental for that is the Battle Network games, because in those games, and I hold them to such a high regard because of this, every single environmental thing you click on has the player character land making a commentary on it. Like all those bookshelves, everything on the table in a Battle Network game, that would be a thing where you would have total, like, you would be able to look at all of it. So Sephiroth here has been in this great library reading about pretty much everything. Being a super soldier, or a member of Soldier who is super, he's kind of like absorbing knowledge super fast, you know? It's sort of like how, wasn't it like Superman can like read a book so fast he gains the knowledge instantly? I hate Superman. So he's like absorbing it all, because of course his super soldier stuff isn't just strength or magic or whatever. It's extends to knowledge and stuff, and this is no exception, rather. Also, look at this canted angle. What a actually really good, like, you know, I took, this is an angle of destiny. I took film classes, back in middle school, and they've ruined how I play games and watch movies, because now I'll just see an angle and be like, yo, I recognize that angle, you know? But no, like, this angle here sets the entire scene. He says, let me be alone in that, and it's just like, that's all you need, you know? Like, look, like, even if there was no words here, you would get the exact thing. Also, look at like the books coming out. Oh, it's so good. Even though it's like it's just 2D pictures layered on top of each other, like, it looks so good. And yeah, he just read, man. I bet you his Goodreads.com account is probably maxed out. 5 stars on a lot of them. And it's just weird I don't know. Cloud just kind of falls asleep here. And shimmies out of bed. I mean, I guess if you're waiting for, you know, your mentor, what would that be? Commanding officer, you know, he's going a little crazy. I don't know. And, you know, spoilerific music is a thing. Also, I didn't explore down here when I first went, so I'm like, I should probably do it. Musical spoilers, kind of, because, like, you hear the Undertaker's theme from WWE. That's my entire knowledge of wrestling right there. It's like you hear this bell and you're like, oh, you know, something is probably not going well. Like, yeah, we'll go check in on him. Something compelled us to do it. Sephiroth seems different. Yeah, he's been a lot more studious lately. Maybe he just wants to pass that final and get on with his life. And Senpai, that's what it is. He wants to impress Senpai. Who is Senpai, though? I think we'll meet her soon enough. Oh, and we come in and he's laughing. That's a good sign. He's reading a good knee slapper of a book. But, like, see, this is what I mean. Like, look at this angle here. And then he calls us a traitor, and we're like, what? Man, you tripping. What you talking about? Thankfully, he's gonna tell us. But no, he's kind of read everything, and it's enlightened him. You know, he's had an epiphany. That's why this is like the angle of destiny, because it's like, you know, when something amazing happens. That's one thing I will say about fixed camera angle RPGs. What you're supposed to see is given to you. You can't miss stuff. And they can set it up like a movie, you know? It's like, it's not like exactly a movie, because you still control it. But it's like, because like these angles, like when you're walking down that hallway especially, they're set up for you to give you tone. And you might not even recognize it at first. Because if this was set up from a top-down perspective in an older Final Fantasy style, you would just be like, it wouldn't give you any emotions. But by the way this thing's framed and everything, it definitely sets it up in a way that will just give you feelings. And also, yeah, spoilers, Sephiroth was a designer baby. Quite literally. From Dr. Gast and someone or something else. And look at this walk. This is supposed to be some really threatening walk, but it's actually really... Okay, now that's a line, though. That's a line. And then his theme starts coming in. Oh my god, it's so good. Like, this whole thing is set up cinematically. You know, like, I can definitely see why when people first said, like, this is the first video game that was like a cinematic experience, because, like, really the way the music cues in, because, like, what it is like, it was playing just the underlying theme, and then as soon as it clicked in, then it turned on the channel for, like, the main melody and stuff, and it's like, oh, I love that about old school video games, how they could do that. It's harder to do now. But, oh, diggity dang, everything's gone to heck. Yeah, so, you're gonna see a scene that is so iconic. You go to any anime store, you know, back in the early 2000s there, and there's a crappy, just laminated piece of paper that you could buy with this upcoming shot on it. But, yeah, no, everything's kind of gone bad. Now, mind you, we just watched him walk out, you know, like, it wasn't that long, and yet he set fire to everything. Now, some people call that out as like, what? But remember, he has access to high-level magic right here. Check this out. Oh my god, that look, that PS1 FMV look, you know? I can't believe it's Palutena. God, that was so funny how Palutena was Sephiroth for the Smash Bros. Thing. That you'll know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, so that's the Nibelheim incident. Because dang, what an incident that was. Now, sadly, I hate that the music cuts out there and goes to the regular just reactor theme. They really should have just played it through this entire thing. Sadly, that's not always doable because of programming, honestly, but my favorite thing is when a villain's doing something so dastardly that, like, their theme just will overwrite everything, you know, all background music. And holy crap, Tifa, her dad's been killed by Sephiroth, and the sword's there. I wonder why he left the sword. It makes you think. And Tifa kind of hates us now, so that's good. So this, when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, Tifa took the sword, but isn't Sephiroth the only one who's supposed to be able to use the sword? But no, she's just holding it. That's something on my first attempt, my first thought is she shouldn't be able to pick it up. It's not like a Keyblade or something. And so you see, like, she can hold it, but she can't effectively use it, is what the whole thing is. Like, as you can see, like, she tried, and it was so heavy that she just couldn't even move fast enough. But, oh no! Not our girlfriend we paid a lot of money for to be cute in the thumbnail to attract views! How dare you, sir! Oh man, but this scene, oh, so good. So I think if you don't talk to Tifa here, you get points off, and with her, she'll be like, Cloud, you left me, you jerk. But no, we can like save her and be like, don't worry, Tifa, I'll hold you in my arms and then place you down just a couple of feet away from where you were before, which is really kind of, I guess she's propped up on something, but. And we fulfilled the promise, plus 25 kissy points. Okay, but here we go. Now this thing is freaky. It's like the other Jenova version. It's like not as much. But who's like, what we need to do to keep this alien sealed? We just need a giant statue of an angel that... why? I mean, then again, we know who did this, and they are slightly weird. It's like they have some feelings and stuff. Oh, my biggest excitement, though, for this scene in the remake is actually going to be, hopefully this is a scene that will be extended into actually, like, a battle, too. Because, spoilers, we don't fight Sephiroth here. It cuts out, but it would be so good. But, oh man, it's like, things are getting good when it goes from the super old, blocky style to actually full-size characters. Now, there's slightly... incestuous almost overtones with how he addresses Mother, I feel. And I feel like it's on purpose, really. Bit of an Oedipus complex. But yeah, no, like, that wasn't Jenova. That is Jenova. With a plate on it that says, from Hong Kong. Which is the weirdest thing. It says made in Hong Kong on it, which is the weirdest thing. It's a bit of an Easter egg, and I think in later versions it says other things on it, like Square Enix, or like Tetsuya Nomura. It just changes. It's kind of a gag at this point. But it's like, I thought when I first saw the statue there of the angel that was going to be Jenova in there. But no, it's just a symbolic thing for no reason other than worship. I mean, look at this. Look at this immense, almost... religious thing you got here. I mean, you got Sephiroth, of course, and then the angel. So, like, this scene right here, look at the way it's set up, and you're like, oh my god, this is it. And then Cloud's like, yep, no, that's about it. And that's the end of my story. And then even Barrett's like, yo, dog, wait up, there has to be more. And Cloud doesn't remember. I hope they extend it into... what I mean, I know we get the full story later. It's not like it's totally untouched, but just that scene there, it'd be great. But yeah, so at this point though, Jenova, and also Barrett is gone. He can't think about this, so he just leaves the room. Truly, he is the Knuckles the Echidna of this game. And yeah, we're gonna be like, yeah, let's go. The whole thing with Jenova is actually like really, really interesting, because at this point, okay, I don't want to spoil it though. Okay, never mind. It's like it's a kind of a big spoiler, but it really changes the way you look at the game, and it's one of those things that like you wouldn't know until the second playthrough, kind of. And I only know it because when I was hyping up for this game, I just heard about the like I was reading a forum on our Final Fantasy, the subreddit, And when I heard it, I was just like, okay, that's actually really interesting, and I should probably relay this information in it. Also, we just got a cell phone, and you might be like, well, no, it could be something else, but no, straight up, it's just a cell phone. It's called the PHS, and you use it, and it goes ring, 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 banana phone. Okay, it doesn't say that exactly, but no, it's something that you can just use, you know? So I think I do one quick sort of round again to see if anything I missed, of course, being towns and stuff. No, I do. I don't remember. You want to make sure you talk to everyone. That's the big thing in an RPG. You know, it's always talk to everyone. There's no reason to not, really, except here. I guess I don't. I think it's because I realized just talking to a few people, I was like, yeah, there's not going to be anyone else who's, probably going to change if these people didn't. So at this point, when I got here, initially, for my playthrough, my first playthrough, I was like, oh my god, I am actually completely lost now. I feel like it really doesn't tell you where to go. Now, mind you, the actual places you can go are very limited. It's not like it's actually super open for where you can go. Like, it looks like wide open and everything, like you can actually just go wherever, but that is not the case at all. You're pretty much landlocked to a couple destinations. It's one of those games where if you're given the option of going to 3 different places at a time, don't worry, you can go to all 3 places and you'll still be fine. You know, it's not like friggin' I played Digimon World 3. I remember that was another game I grabbed on an emulator when I first emulated Final Fantasy VII, because dang, Digimon's fun. And in that game, within the first... Well, in the first hour, you know, you get your Digimon and you're into the gameplay and you're finding stuff, and it's like, because of how it worked, I took a wrong turn into Area 3 and was killed by a Mega level Digimon fighting my level 1 rookie Gimon, who killed me in one hit, which sucks a lot, especially because, you know, old school RPG on the PS1. What do you think happens when you get a game over? Probably something similar to a lot of, you know, more hardcore RPGs nowadays, which is too bad. Back to the main menu. Hope you saved. 'Cause I remember I was just reading on Twitter, Liam from the Best Friends, from Two Best Friends Playing Stuff, he was just complaining that in Tokyo Mirage Sessions, if you die and get a game over, you lose progress. And he said he lost 5 hours of progress. And I'm just like, oh, I know that feeling all too well. That is the easiest way to get yourself into a situation where you just don't want to play a game again. At least for a good while, you know? And that's the worst. God, I hate it. You know, I always like that. That's why whenever I play an RPG, I am the guy who will not just save once. If I'm gonna save, I will save twice, you know, 3 times to make sure. But this is our next destination. It is a chocobo farm featuring everyone's lovable creatures that for some reason in this game don't go quay, they go wark. Now, if you're a chocobo fanatic such as me, you'd know chocobos don't work. They have historically in every Final Fantasy game gone quay. It's never been a wark. And thankfully they've gone back and retconned to make it so that the chocobos could now still go back to quay. But wark is one that's still used occasionally. But for the most part, chocobos, you know, go quay. And you do get to hear, of course, remixes of the chocobo theme, which is great. You know, so it's like, I guess if you don't know about Final Fantasy, how they're not related and stuff, this is another example of like a similar trend in Final Fantasy. You know, the existence of chocobos is a trend that exists in Final Fantasy. You know, they've been around since, I think, 3? I'm not sure. They definitely were in 5, I know, because 1 in 5 is a major character. I don't think they're in 4, actually. I don't know. They're definitely in 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know anything past 10 for Final Fantasy, I'm sorry. I know they're definitely in 13, and 13 too. Do you think you can ride this chocobo? What a great song. But no, it's like, so there's a huge Chocobo side quest in this game. A very famous one, you know, one that I know a lot of people really definitely want brought back for the remake, but all I can think of is, oh my god, this is so overwhelming. When I first got to this, I'm just like, is this something I'm gonna need to keep up with for the whole game? Thankfully, as of now, I feel like it's not a thing that you need to super worry about. But basically, we have to catch a Chocobo, because there's an area in a swamp coming up that features a large snake creature called the Midgarzolem, who I haven't gotten caught by him. I don't know if it initiates a battle, but it's bad news if you run into him. This huge snake thing is just terrifying. So you want to try and get the Chocobo so the Chocobo can move faster through the swampland to get you, you know, to your destination out of the Midgarzolem's territory. Now, I think you do fight Midgarzolems later. But if someone could answer me if it's winnable at this point at all, or if it's one of those, no, it's like you're not gonna, I don't know. Also, we don't have enough money, so you know what this means? Off-screen grinding. First off, though, we need to get an important item featuring a very important sequence of events. We talk to this Chocobo, and we tell it work. Not work, 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 but just work. And this happens. Why? I don't know. JRPGs, specifically Square JRPGs, have some weird things sometimes that are just unexplained. Mind you, this dance doesn't bother me. I'm happy that it's in the game. But it definitely was a little strange. We do get something awesome for it, though, which you'll see right there. The Chocobo gives us the Chocomog materia, which lets you summon two Final Fantasy mainstays, the Chocobo and the Moogle. Specifically a Moogle named Mog. I guess the Chocobo's named Choco. Which we'll get to see later, don't worry, I do use it. But for now, we need to go and grind some money, folks. So next time, we're gonna go grind some money. Then we're gonna get a Chocobo lure. Then we're gonna get a Chocobo, and then we're gonna stay the heck away from that snack. See you all guys next time on Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. Ciao.